See, all these pieces are out there today stealing catalytic converters. Back when I was running, it was all about that transmission cooler. I don't know nothing about this Grand National. If somebody wants to fix that car, it ain't gonna be easy.
Today we're going to install a transmission cooler on Dad's Buick Grand National 1987. It has the stock BRF coated 200R4 transmission, 4-speed overdrive. We're in the process of restoring the interior. We've fixed some exhaust leak gaskets. We've installed a new Mega Squirt ECM. This car has brand new wheels and tires. Fresh paint that hasn't seen more than 500 miles probably. Alright, inside this box should be everything we need for a new transmission cooler for Dad's Grand National. So -6 hose from Vibrant, this is PTFE stuff. Transmission cooler here, 679 black, so you can't see it through the grill. These are the fittings that go into the transmission right there. So they're not a tapered thread, they're not a pipe thread. And then they are to -6 AN. So everything will be -6 AN to the front of the car until we go to a barb, and then I'm going to just do a little bit of tranny cooler hose to slip onto the barb connections of the cooler.
Okay, here's the transmission. Here's what we're working with. We've got a looped line right there. That's where the transmission cooler bolts in. I was thinking about making hard lines to run it up to the cooler, but I just don't have the time, you know, so I'm going to put AN lines. I brought everything I need, I think, so I'm going to get to taking these things off. Yes, the loop's not ideal, but you know what? I like testing out second gear bands. It's, you know, just a hobby of mine. We've got one of the fittings removed. One of these with this O-ring is going to go in its place to make it a AN hose adapted transmission.
Looks like I got a little oil on the camera lens and didn't notice for the next couple hours. I'm going to go through this a little quicker than I was hoping to. I'll still show the main points and the end results.
It should fit right up here. All right, that should work. Oh, really?
This might be unconventional routing, but this is the best I can come up with, and I think it's going to be sick. So this is PTFE hose, it's all Teflon, it's braided. It's not that hard to work with, it's all Vibrant stuff, Vibrant brand. And see, I've got it totally out of the way of the heat, out of the downpipe, the exhaust and everything. This is a Hayden cooler made in South Korea, black. I didn't want anything that was like silver looking at us behind the grill. So like we saw, I pulled the top cover here, and I'm gonna just use these little plastic connectors to pierce through the fins of this thing and actually hold the cooler in place. Here's a little sneak preview of what we have in store for the front seats. This is a rough, tough seat cover, real high quality. Here's the reason we need it, because the stock seats have some tears, a bunch of wear. We're not going to cover these. The headrests are in pretty good shape, and they got that cool symbol. It's not exact. It doesn't have the same stitching running in this direction, but that'll be a nice upgrade. I'm choosing to put the transmission cooler on the front of the air conditioning condenser, so it's going to be right out in front the most. But there's these crisscross braces that are for the radiator core support that I need to get loose, and I might need to space them out a little bit further from the core support to give myself room for the cooler. You can see that loosens up these bars right here. It's probably smart to have these hoses tight before you ever put this thing up here. Okay, so I'm not going to be too anal about the placement of this thing. I'm going to just kind of center it on the air conditioning condenser, about an inch through, and then that's my spot. The rest is just making sure it looks level and poke the rest through. I thought it'd be a good idea to show another type of installation of this type of transmission cooler. This is on my Chevelle. I have the same type of cooler, but instead of pinning it to the AC condenser, which this car doesn't have, I have put a couple of straps of aluminum from the top to the bottom of the core support, and the cooler is bolted to that. You can see I have the radiator out right now. The intercooler is in, but with the radiator out, this thing is nicely fixed, free of any sort of interferences. And I did the same sort of thing where I used a little bit of rubber hose until I have a barbed fitting right here. And from barbed fitting, I've converted to 45-degree flare, and this is metal hardline that goes back to the transmission. Just comes down to these ends, hooking into the rubber hoses. All right, it's all zip ties for now, but it's totally secured, it's working great, and it's leak free.
So I'll stand over the front to make sure there's no...
Yeah, check for leaks at
leaks.
the transmission hoses there.
Okay.
And I've got it data logging. Okay, I think we're ready. No smoke or nothing. No excess fuel. No smoke or nothing. Oh, I spilled a bunch of oil down here when I was filling the oil up, so you'll see that burn off. Started on the first try.
Didn't have to get in and pump at once.
Running pretty rich, like 10.5. I could tune that out, but I'm just gonna let this thing warm up. Coolant temp 70. I'm gonna pull out some warm-up enrichment. It's currently at 30% added fuel. You can hear the engine change as I pull fuel out of here. Go over here and say equals 100. This thing runs good. Still pretty rich. Wow, this thing runs smooth. Look at this thing run. Runs great. Runs great. Aren't they running at least the stock cooler? That car has to have at least the stock transmission cooler. I mean, nobody runs that car without a cooler, right?
Doesn't it need a cooler? Doesn't it need a cooler? Doesn't it need one?
Who in their right mind wouldn't use transmission cooler?
Challenge accepted.
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It would be a lot cooler if you did.